Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I'll be discussing Season 7 of Vampire Diaries. I just got done watching the season finale roughly 15 minutes ago, and my feelings about the finale were like, meh. I knew what was gonna happen. It was inevitable that was gonna happen. That promo really gave us a little bit too much information because I'm like, I bet this is gonna happen, and I was right. It did happen. It was totally predictable. I knew the direction it was going in, but I still wish Julie Plec would change direction with it. But hey, it's her show, so I can't really say anything. Uh, Yeah, so this is gonna be full of spoilers for Season 7 and the Season 7 finale. So if you haven't finished Season 7 all the way through, I would recommend finishing Season 7 first. I mean, it wasn't the best season, but it wasn't the worst. For me, the worst is still Season 5. I hated Season 5 so much that I almost stopped watching the show. And I'm glad I didn't because Season 6 was really good at the ending because so many feels. Like, I think another reason why this finale was kind of lackluster was because season 6 finale had so many feels because Nina Dobrev, uh, like, put her role on hiatus for Elena Gilbert. It's still waiting for her if she ever wants it back. They could have recasted her and other stuff, which is another thing I'm going to talk about because I'm gonna go into plots I think could have been made better so they didn't have to, wait on Nina for her job back. They could still have the character as Elena Gilbert. They could have gotten another actress for her, and I'll share with you that way in a minute. But another thing is ah okay. So this many feels. Season 6 had so many feels of the ending of it. It was such a good and amazing season finale for Season 6. That it was probably one of my favorite finales of all time. This one is ranked as my third least favorite. I didn't like the ending of Season 5, I didn't like the ending of Season 1, and I didn't like the ending to this ending. I mean, I tolerated it. It was okay, but it was a little too predictable what was going to happen. And this is getting really predictable, and I think, it's setting up for my thing. I think Season 7 is more of a filler season because I don't know if Season 8 is going to be the last season. It should be the last season in my opinion. They're losing Ian Somerhalder, who plays Damon, and they're losing Kat Graham, who plays Bonnie. So the only two people you're actually really gonna have left are Paul Wesley, who plays Steven, and Caroline, Candace, who plays Caroline. And I'm sorry, I wouldn't watch a show solely based around Caroline and Steven because, to me, they're my least favorite characters on the show. And I don't really care about enough of the other characters to really give a shit about the Vampire Diaries. I mean, who are they gonna have? I mean, like I said, there's gonna be spoilers in this. I mean, Matt's gone, Tyler's gone, everyone besides Steven, Caroline, and Enzo are gonna be gone next season, and I don't think there's enough storyline for Steven, Caroline, and Enzo to make an efficient story. So I think it would be best to stop Season 8 at Season 8. Like, don't continuously go on. I mean, I guess, if you changed Ian Somerhalder's mind, you could still do it, but, after doing it for so long, yeah, sure, I gave Nina crap about it, but I'm starting to realize now that after so long in a job, you kind of want another job. And Ian, he's in his 30s. I don't think he wants to do it anymore. he's only known as Damon Salvatore, and it's just maybe he wants to broaden his horizons to something else, and you can't really blame a person for that. But I really do hope that they get Nina back next season, especially if it is the last season, because a theory of mine is that I really want Elena back so they could betray this theory, because it's, in my mind, a really good way to end the show. Because Kat's leaving and Ian's leaving, even if it wasn't, the last season, it's a good way to end season 8 at least. And it's a good storyline in my opinion, but we'll see what you guys think. But let's discuss this season more in full. Okay, so at the beginning of season 7, we had the Heretics, and I didn't mind the Heretics that much. I didn't really care for Bo all that much. I mean, we didn't really get to know his background story a lot until the Reina Cruz episode happened, and we learned why he was mute, because he was stabbed, like, right here, and oh my god, the imagery for this one, like, they just didn't stop that. So the only thing that really pisses me off is the only heretic that actually survived. I mean, they went through all this trouble of introducing heretics in season 6, only to have all of them die except Valerie. Don't get me wrong, Valerie was my favorite of all the heretics. I loved Valerie, and I loved Stefan and Valerie together, because if you've been around my channel, you guys know I can't stand Sterilline. I mean, this season's finale, with their moment and their kiss, I tolerated it for about 3 seconds, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. You can't have an epic Delana romance with Sterilline. I'm sorry. They're trying too hard to make Stefan and Caroline the new Delana, and it's not working for me. I think it's this might be, a little stupid of me to say, but I think it's a little rushed. I don't know why I think it's a little rushed. Personally, I prefer Caroline with Klaus, but we know that's not gonna happen. And I'm so glad that they had a Klaus episode a crossover with the originals, because I miss Klaus so much. I know I need to get on watching the originals so I could catch up with what's happening with Klaus, because apparently there's this new thing where he disappears, and I'm just like, ugh. But, for fans of the originals, I heard that if you watched the Vampire Diaries, that episode, you got spoiled for a major plot line, and sorry for the spoilers about that. But, let's see, what else happened this season? I'm trying to think of everything that happened this season. Valerie for me, I did, like, the whole Stefan having a child thing, that was totally a shock to me. I didn't know that, but she had a miscarriage because of Julian, and then, we had this whole Hellstone business, and with the Hellstone, I liked the concept of Ian Somerhalder making a Damon-centered episode, because the Damon-centered episode was my favorite episode of the season, because, my god, when it showed that Ian Somerhalder could act, like, solely based off his own performance, and I totally loved the Damon-centered episode. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Damon Salvatore, so of course I enjoyed the episode. I know there was a lot of people out there who didn't like the episode because it solely focused on Damon, but another thing that I didn't really like is that, yeah, we focused a lot of energy on what happened to Damon in the Hellstone, but we didn't get to see what happened to Stefan in the Hellstone until a little bit later. I mean, Damon gets a full episode about what happens to him in the Hellstone, and Stefan gets, like, maybe a 20-minute explanation, and I'm just over here, like, no matter how much I hate the character of Stefan, I would kind of like to see what happened to him, like, in a more in-depth episode. I mean, from what you described, it was sounded like a boring episode, but we could have exchanged the whole Hellstone thing. I mean, we get to the Hellstone episode from the mid-season finale, and then we see that Steven's already out of the Hellstone, and Damon's still in it because he's not ready. And I still love this episode because the whole their mother dying, and I'm sorry, I don't miss Lily. I hated Lily personally. I didn't like it that she died before she could get redemption with Damon, but I like how he forgave his mother and how he's told her he was sorry, and it just made me cry. I think it was the only thing in this season that made me want to bawl my fucking eyes out. Besides, and then we have the whole plot hole thing, the 3 years forward. I think it would have been a lot better if they didn't show little tiny snippets of the 3 year forward thing, especially the beginning 3 year forward, because we saw Elena's coffin next to Damon's. And so the episode where Damon burns Elena's coffin and then he thinks he killed Elena, I'm just over here we know that's not gonna happen. For one, in the season 1 premiere, he is by Elena's he's in a coffin by Elena's coffin, so we know Elena didn't die and he didn't actually burn her. For those of us who remembered back to the season 1 premiere. I just think it gave a lot away, and then of course the flash forwards didn't really they tied in nicely to what was happening, but they should have had a little bit more of a little bit less of the flash forwards. I just think it was a totally useless storyline. I mean, I'm just why do we have to for 3 years? 3 years, I get that. It's a flash forward and we get to see what happens during that time. But with Pretty Little Liars, it was spread out throughout all season, and I think it was done pretty well with Pretty Little Liars. Not so much Vampire Diaries, but, it is what it is, and some of them were pretty cool, and some of them were just did we really need that flash forward? Did we really need the exchange between Caroline and Matt? I'm just whatever. It's okay, and then let's see what else. Oh, can we talk about how cute Caroline, Alark, and Joe's kids are, and that whole pregnancy storyline with fitting Candace's pregnancy into the storyline with Caroline getting pregnant with Joe and Alark's twins. I know they did this solely based off the fact that Caroline was the person who played Candace was pregnant at the time, but to me it sounded like a really dumb storyline, and they totally pulled they didn't pull Twilight because it's not exactly like Twilight. I hate it when we compare things to other movies and books, but it was kind of really, okay, we're going in that direction. Alright, well, that works, I guess, but I don't know. It didn't really make sense, because why would my thought process is it didn't really make sense whatsoever to have Caroline pregnant with Joe's kids, because Joe, while she knew Caroline a little bit, it would have made more sense to have the babies either with Elena or with Bonnie, because Bonnie is also a witch, so the siphoner stuff probably wouldn't have hurt her in the least bit. And Elena's a human, and she's in the coffin, so of course the twins the future of the Gemini Coven would have been protected. I mean, then we could have a real Sleeping Beauty story for Elena, but if you don't know, that's the original story of Sleeping Beauty. But, I don't know. It was weird. I didn't understand why they would do that, but, they do this because this has to happen because Candace is pregnant. And yeah, it worked out in the end because the scenes with the twins and Caroline and Alark being Caroline's fiance during this season really kind of creeped me out. Like, let's talk, like, couple pairings for a minute. I liked the whole Valerie and Steven pairing. I liked it more than I like Steven and Caroline together. Not as much as I liked Catherine and Steven together, because I was totally a Stefan fan. But, you know, it was cute. I believe their chemistry more than Caroline and Steven's chemistry. I mean, it didn't work. You know, they spent so long dragging this whole Steroline thing out from the whole, that just hit left field. Like, season 1, I have no interest in you. Season 2, hey, this would be appropriate to get them together. But of course he's still with Elena. I didn't know why the frick they didn't happen in season 4. I mean, season 4 would have made perfect sense, but no. It's not wait until season 5 after all this shit. And they didn't even end up in season 5. It was like more season 6. Not even season 6, bro. Season 7 was when they got them together, and it was just it dragged on for a little too long, and it was just, I just wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry. I could respect the Steroline ship, but it's not my thing. Just like a lot of people don't ship Delana out there, and that's totally understandable. I would get that. But it's kind of like, one thing I loved about this season was Bonnie and Damon's progressing friendship / falling out friendship. Because they're still on the back and forth with each other because of Damon deciding to go in the coffin because he didn't want to hurt his friends and he didn't want to do anything that Elena would have been pissed at him about. And yeah, I guess that was a coward's way out, but at least he apologized for it in the season finale, you know. I made up for it in some way, which we'll get to the whole thing that Caroline said in the season finale that really pissed me off. So it's kind of like, this season had so much stuff, and, we're gonna talk about it. Yay, talking about it. Let's see, what else happened this season? Well, we had the whole Mara and Nora Louise dying so they could get rid of the Hellstone. Hellstone that Steven was stuck in, by the way. And all those souls, I thought that would be interesting. An interesting storyline, but it only lasted for a couple episodes that all the souls of the Hellstone had been gone out, and they all got killed in, like, an episode which, we'll get to Raina Cruz in a minute, because we're gonna discuss Raina, but, it's just, it was, like, really freaking, why did that, why? It's a waste of a storyline to me, but, well, it happened. But with Raina Cruz, at first, I kind of liked her and Damon's chemistry. Like, for whatever reason, I thought it was sexy whenever they fought. And I was a total Danish shipper until, like, the very last minute that, Raina died. Because, of course, when we introduce new characters in Vampire Diaries, don't get too attached to them unless they're Enzo, because they're probably gonna get killed off. I mean, let's look at all the new characters we got this season that got killed off. Yeah, we got Lily last season, but she got killed off. We got Julian this season, he got killed off. We got Mary Louise this season, she got killed off. We had Nora this season, she got killed off. We had Bo this season, he got killed off. We had Valerie this season, she left town. We had Raina, she died. We had all the armory, they all died. So my question is there a new any new fucking person in the Vampire Diaries that could survive besides Enzo, because, you know, we still have this new chick. I can't remember her name. She was Alex's sister in the mental institution. We still have her, but how much do you want to bet she's gonna stick around to last? I don't really see her having a very big storyline, and she's only gonna be probably in a few episodes for season 8 before either she's killed off or, you know, we never hear from her again in true Vampire Diaries style. So, I mean, whatever happens to everyone that just disappears? I mean, whatever happened to April? God, does anyone remember what happened to April? Because, you know, she just disappeared out of nowhere. No mention, no nada, no nothing. She just, like, she's out there somewhere, I guess. April? Anywhere? Huh? Okay, let's see, with Raina, you know, I hated the last moment whenever Bonnie is sick because she took pills that contain Raina's blood in it, which poisons witches. Witches for what? And supernatural. I don't know if it poisons vampires as well. Well, actually, yeah, it did, but because Mary Louise and Nora were Mary Louise was a vampire and it poisoned her, but she's also a witch, so it's like twice as deadly. But it's kind of like, so many things. Just so many things. So she passed on Bonnie to her curse, and we had cool, badass Bonnie for about 2 episodes. I'm like, I don't know why, you know, that had to happen, but I guess in order to make the season finale make any sense, we had to have Bonnie be evil for about 2 episodes. Did anyone else love the fight between Bonnie and Damon in the last episode before the season finale? I totally loved their friendship dynamic, and I totally, like, he was the one who got her out of the sleeping coma that she was in, and, you know, he was the one who went into the armory and killed the last Forsaken that severed the curse that was being held on to her. And now we arrive to talking about the finale, which I thought kind of reminded me of the season 1 finale. Not so much the story plot, but the way it was presented to us. I mean, at first it was slow, it was boring, and then they jam-packed all the action into the last 20 minutes of the episode, and I'm just like, you know, I'm just, And by the way, I do like Bonnie and Enzo as a couple. I mean, they were really cute in this episode, especially the whole her about to kill him moment and him saying it's okay. It totally just reminds me of a Tris and 4 moment from Divergent, but it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of, I don't know what to think of Benzo, but, you know, we did have a few nice moments of them, and it was pretty awesome to see Bonnie happy for once. And, of course, we have... Okay, discussing finale now. Oh, God, I have to actually remember all that happened in the finale. That's how forgettable of a season finale it was, because I don't remember some parts, even though I watched it 20 minutes ago. I liked the car chase scene with Caroline and Steven and Bonnie and Matt, and I'm just wondering why the hell Matt hasn't died yet. I mean, by the end of the show, he totally disappears from Mystic Falls. I'm guessing the guy who plays Matt isn't coming back for season 8. Who knows, probably at the end of season 8 if it's the finale, but I totally respect Zach's decision to move on. I mean, they don't have very sufficient storylines for Matt in the Vampire Diaries. He just is kind of like the side character that's always there and kind of annoying. I mean, did anyone else find Matt annoying during the season? I found him extremely annoying this season. It's just like, okay, whatever, Matt. Eh. And, ooh, so many things to discuss. What should we discuss next about the season finale? It's like, okay, so they're trying to get in the armory, and that doesn't work. I liked the scene with Caroline and Alarc's twins. Twins, the whole someone's trying to hurt mommy and trying to take mommy away from you thing. It was a really sweet yet sad scene, and I'm just all like, I'm really glad that Alarc decided to let Caroline go, but still let her be a family with him and the kids, no matter who she chose to love, cause that's respect right there, and I totally loved that, because you can't take Caroline away from these kids need their mom. I mean, I know Jo is technically their biological mother, but these kids need Caroline as well, and I hope we get to see more of her daughters in season 3, because, not in season 3, sorry, in season 8, because, reasons. But they're just like the cutest additions to the cast ever. And, okay. And then we have the whole, Damon and Steven moment, wherever Damon lets Steven go and says, you have to let me go in by myself, let me make this decision by myself, let me face my fears. I'm just like looking at the screen and going, oh, he totally pulled an Elena at that moment. I like literally thought Damon was gonna say, this is my decision and I need you to respect it. Just like, oh, total Elena moment right there. Speaking of Elena moments, we'll get to that in a minute, because we need to talk about that. Now, because it's like the biggest part of the season 7 finale. So we go in this vault, and Bonnie is trying to kill Enzo because he led her on a wild goose chase. He stopped because he was running out of gas. She was telling him, please don't make me kill you, and then she almost kills him, and then Damon kills the Forsaken, like, making Bonnie free of the curse that binds her to hating vampires, and, I love that Damon did that. And then we get to the ending of the last 20 minutes of the episode, where Damon is calling Bonnie and Bonnie picks up, and it was such a cute Damon moment before what happened. She gets on the phone and goes, if you think this means that you're forgiven, think again. He's like, oh, I'm so forgiven, and I'm just all like, total Damon moment right there. And she's all like, you're a little bit forgiven. I'm all like, oh, I totally love it. And then Damon is like, she thanks him for not killing Enzo, and the funniest part of that was when Damon said, damn, I thought I waited long enough. And I'm all like, Benzo moment. Total Benzo moment. And then Damon or Bonnie is in the middle of saying something. And then Damon hears Elena's voice, and we know it's not Elena's voice, because Elena is in a coffin in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm just over here, like, it's not Elena. Damon, don't do it. But what does Damon do? Damon does it. Does it because he thinks that Elena is in trouble. I mean, I think it's a part of the monster's powers in there to compel them, without actually compelling them. Like, it's kind of like a mind-sweeping thing, if you will. I think that's why Damon didn't see logically at that moment. Because this scene was kind of creepy with the whole Damon, I need you because we know this isn't Elena. This whole scene, I was watching this scene on YouTube, and one commenter down below said this kind of reminds me of Wake at Dawn, and I'm just thinking, you know what, it does remind me of the creatures in Awake at Dawn, because they also use other people's voices to lure their prey in, and if Julie Plec really is introducing Wendigo into her story, I really hope that, she does a research on Wendigos, because they are a Native American legend, so, I hope she does research on that. I really hope that she does that storyline, because it would be a really cool storyline, and it would make a lot of sense if it was a Wendigo, as to why Damon and Enzo are now soulless, but, let's see. And it kind of did, the look of the creature, the hands and the grabbing, it kind of looked like what a Wendigo would look like. And it's just, And, okay, so we have that scene, and we have a throwback, because we have to have Delana scenes in almost every single season finale. I don't care if Nina's gone or not. No, we just have to. So we get this scene where Damon remembers all the memories of Elena, and it was such a cute moment. And it has all the major Delana scenes in it. It has whenever they said goodbye at the wedding. It has whenever they said goodbye in her comatose state. They have where, they had sex for the first time in there, and other multiple times that they've kissed, and that's how this creature lures Damon in, and then the I need you, Damon. I want to know if they actually got Nina to record her voice for this, because I don't see what the problem would be with having Nina record something for the show. I mean, she doesn't have to go and be present in the show. She could just record stuff, and it'd be totally fine. But, the whole, I'm right here, whenever Damon's all like, where are you? And she's like, I'm right here. I'm like, that is not Elena. Okay, that's so not Elena. And then the whole look that Damon gives, I'm sorry, that took away all the seriousness at that moment, because the look that Ian Somerhalder gave, I don't know what kind of thing they had him do to make him get a reaction, but it's the funniest pause and caption moment ever if you pause on his face. So, we have that scene, and of course, we have the whole Caroline and Steven waiting outside the armory, and they're kissing, which, I tolerated, but still don't like it. I'll get used to it. But then we have the whole, them figuring out that Damon's inside, because Bonnie comes and goes, where is he? And I'm all like, yay, she has genuine concern for Damon, her best friend. And then, of course, Enzo has to go be the hero and go try to find Damon without anyone there, which would have probably been a better idea. He finds Damon in the vaults, and we know that Damon is evil now, because this creature takes their soul away to where they're basically the most soulless and evil person ever. And then Damon's face, oh my god, how he could act like it totally flashed me back to season 1 Damon, and I'm so glad that season 1 Damon's back, because if we can't have him be good for Elena, we at least need something interesting to happen with Damon. So Damon's possessed, And him and Enzo banter for a little bit, and the scene that really creeped me out was whenever Enzo was saying, for some weird reason, my girl considers you her best friend. And I learned that if you want to be the hero, and do right by your girl, you have to do things you don't like or something like that. And then Damon just looks at him and goes, take it from me. Sometimes being the hero isn't all it's cracked up to be. Or doing right. No, it wasn't that. Take it from me. Sometimes doing right by your girl isn't always the best thing. And playing hero isn't always the best thing. And then he goes to total creepy Damon and goes, it will hurt at first, but then it's really fun. And then we see the creature's hand in the back of Enzo's neck, and it's just like, ugh. And then you can totally tell that monster is totally CGI'd, because the fingers come and go like this, and Enzo goes back like that. And then we have a flash forward scene to 3 months later, because they finally 3 days later got the door to the armory open because Alark cracked the code, and of course now the evil is now unleashed because Damon and Enzo weren't in there, and neither was this evil that turns everyone evil. Obviously, I think what the spirit did was put its essence into both Damon and Enzo to where it could be free, and that's what this essence is. It's trying to get out into the world, so it has to possess people to do it, and that's what Damon and Enzo are, is this demon's vessel for right now, and it's kinda crazy. But then we get the whole 3 months later, and they're all writing to Elena in their diaries, and Caroline saying that Damon finally did the selfless thing, and I'm just like, okay. For one, there are 2 scenes that Caroline really pissed me off, is when she said that Damon was like a cockroach and he always comes back. I'm just like, technically your best friend always comes back from the dead and you've never called her a cockroach. And my god, woman, it happened in season 1. I'm not gonna say get over it, because I totally understand, but he's trying to do better. Caroline, to me, the only reason why I hate Caroline's character is that she'll always find the bad in people, no matter what, and she'll never focus on the good, especially when it comes to Damon. To her, it's black and white. There's no shades of gray with Caroline, unless, you're fucking her. And I'm sorry, that's true. That's true. Because Klaus is just as bad as Damon is, and yet, she slept with Klaus, but then again, she slept with Damon too, so who knows? With Caroline, I don't know about Caroline anymore. Just let her and Steven be happy together. I don't care anymore about that storyline. But, then another thing that pissed me off is when she said that Damon finally did the selfless thing for once. And I'm just over here there are plenty of times that Damon has done the selfless thing. Or should I draw your fucking attention back to season 5? Okay, season 5 being the biggest Damon sacrificing himself ever. I mean, if Damon was really selfish, he would have just let Steven continue to be dead instead of going to the other side to try to retrieve him. But, Damon's so selfish that he'll do that, right? I mean, come on, Caroline. Are you really, that's just a stupid line right there. It's not even Caroline. It's just stupid, lazy writing right there. right there. I mean, Damon dies at the end of season 5 because we have to go save Stefan. Stefan, it's just, okay, so Damon's never sacrificed himself for the people he cares about, either? I mean, come on. Come on. Like, really, give him a break, Caroline. I mean, just because, you know, he sent your boyfriend back out, now he's selfless because he let Stefan be selfish. Okay, well, that works, I guess. Whatever. But I did like her diary entry. Besides that, and then we have Matt speaking, and then Matt goes bye-bye, and we don't know where he's going. Honestly, I personally don't care about Matt as a character. I don't hate him, but I don't particularly like him either. And then last but not least, we have Stefan's diary entry, which is probably one of the best ones out there, and I totally love that moment, like, whenever he tells Elena what's been happening, and says, just know that whatever Damon does I promise that we'll get him back, but just know this now, that whatever Damon does from here to when that happens, it's not his fault. And I love that moment, and I loved the song that was playing in the background. I didn't know it was from X-Men Apocalypse until someone mentioned it down in the comments, and I'm like, oh my god. Really, I never would have guessed that. And this video is going on for so long. I'm sorry, guys. Guys, so at the end of the moment, we see the whole Damon dragging a body, and Enzo saying, what took you so long? And of course, a little banter that was so cute between them. And then they hang someone, slit their throat. They strangely look like a lark, so I hope it's not a lark. And then, you know, we just see a warehouse full of bodies, and I'm like, ah, shit. Evil Damon, evil Enzo, the badass non-blood brothers are back, and I totally think that it's gonna be leading into an epic season 8, if I have to be honest. So, see, the ways they could have made season 7 better, I probably am gonna put this in another video because I want to do my predictions. Like, for season 8, my prediction of how it's gonna end is that they're gonna try to get Damon and Enzo back. It's not gonna work. And since Kat is leaving, this would be a perfect opportunity to kill her off. So what I think is going to happen is that Bonnie is going to use her love for Enzo to bring him back. It's kind of like the humanity switch, only a lot harder. Because it's going to be really hard to bring them back. Like, really, really hard to bring them back. So what I think is going to happen is, hopefully, if Nina is going to be closer to the season finale, because there are rumors going around that they're trying to get Nina for April to shoot during March and April. If she'll accept it. So she'll have to shoot scenes during March and April, which, you know, will be a little closer to the finale, so I'm thinking they're gonna probably try and bring Elena back. So my prediction is that they're gonna find a way through Bonnie to get Enzo back, and since Damon doesn't have Elena back, it's not gonna happen for him. No one could probably get to him except Elena. Bonnie is gonna probably have enough. She's gonna either find a way to loophole the Sleeping Beauty curse, but since Kat is leaving, I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill Bonnie off so they could get Elena back. Hopefully they get Nina back so they could have this storyline. Elena wakes up. She either A, saves Damon, or B, has to kill him. Because Ian is gonna also be leaving this season. So we're either gonna have to kill Damon Salvatore or give him a happy ending. Cause, you know, because it doesn't seem like Nina actually wants to come back to the show, like, fully. So that would be a perfect way to, like, shape up the Damon storyline. You know, he goes evil. They'll have to either kill him off, which a lot of Damon fans will be pretty pissed off about that if that happens, or the actual, you know, thing they could do that make a lot of fans happy is have Elena find some way to bring him back to himself, and then at the end, they live happily ever after like they're supposed to, because, you know, season 8's gonna be the last season, and I'm gonna say gonna be because I don't know if it is. Then it's gonna end on a pretty epic note for everyone. In this season, if it is the last season, is probably going to be the most epic season, and I can't wait for it. So, you guys, comment down below, let me know your fan theories about what's going to happen in season 8. And I will see you guys later. Bye!